Sometimes it seems to me that the public is being intentionally confused when they've been using vaccination for the last couple of years, telling us something's a vaccination that wasn't. They knew it was never a vaccination. And they messaged it as a vaccination to all of us because we trust the word vaccination. You know, you get a polio vaccination, you get a smallpox vaccination. You don't get the debilitating virus, whatever it be. And in polio, it was so huge that, you know, it saved the whole generation because it worked. So that can't be understated, is that for almost, well, still, 2.5 years now, let's say 1.5 years since December of 2020, they've been messaging us with, we hope we get it, you know, we have the vaccine. And they never had the vaccine. And now the vaccine means you take 3 shots a year. It's more like a flu shot. But a flu shot you only take once a year. So you take more shots now that they've changed the name of it to a vaccination. And they're actually talking about making it yearly. And still calling it a vaccination. There are a lot of odd wordsmiths at the top of Big Pharma changing our definitions. You gotta be kidding me. The distance between the effectiveness of the polio vaccine compared to this rollout is not, it's a complete non-success. It's an unsuccess. You can say it that way. No, they we had worse cases and outcomes in America than other countries, and so did most of the English-speaking countries. New Zealand, I mean, they're going through something now that, you know, you don't want to go through, I guess, or I guess following the science doesn't always work, huh? Jeez. I mean, and I don't mean it in but I mean, it's been just drummed into our head. At the same time, they're giving us mixed messages. You wonder why we're freaking confused. They've been messaging us a cure and a vaccination since December 2020. It's a vaccination. It's a vaccination. Come and get the vaccination. And it was never a vaccination, and they knew it wasn't a vaccination, and they still sell it to us as a vaccination, and they think we don't notice that even NPR is starting to call the flu shot as a flu shot vaccine that doesn't have the efficacy that Americans expect from a vaccination like polio or smallpox. So they shouldn't be allowed, or in my mind, whenever they say stuff like vaccination, my mind just turns off because they no longer means what it used to mean. And factually, that's true. Big business and pharma have gone out of their way to change the definition of vaccination since 2015 and 2020. Now, the younger generation should not get used to that, because the older generation, we expect and we trust when we hear the word vaccination. Okay, probably, maybe, yes, probably. But when it's just a flu shot, why are we? And then they got to take 3 a year now. They have confused us, and they're the ones that are lying, because the lie is that unawares, to the older generation, over 50, is they changed the name of vaccination. So the younger generation now, under 50, thinks vaccination doesn't mean you don't get something. It just means you might be less worse than it might have been. That's the same as a flu shot, and that's not conscionable or should not be allowable as a mass, messaging of something. How did it get approved as a vaccine? Well, it got approved as a vaccine because, as they say, the first 800, there was no, the vaccine, the COVID shot worked. And so then they messaged us it was a vaccine for years, and they still message us it's a vaccine now. It's never a vaccine. It had the efficacy of a flu shot. These wordsmiths, they're lying for profit.